Tapescript 6.16.1. In a faraway land, a poor woodcutter lived with his family. He had 2 lovely children. The boy was called Hansel, and the girl was called Gretel. They lived in a small house near a forest. They were very happy together. Then one day, their mother died, and the woodcutter got married again. His new wife, their stepmother, didn't like the 2 children. Every day the woodcutter went to work in the forest. The 2 children stayed at home with their nasty stepmother. Their stepmother was very unkind to them. Gretel washed the floors. Hansel, bring the firewood now, she shouted. They did all the housework. One day, the woodcutter was ill. He could not chop wood. He was ill all winter. The family had no money, and there wasn't enough food. That night, the nasty stepmother said to her husband, "You must take the children into the forest and leave them there." "I can't do that. I love them," said the woodcutter. "But we don't have enough food," said his wife. "Take them tomorrow and leave them." The children were listening to their nasty stepmother's plan when Gretel began to cry. Hansel hugged his sister. "Don't cry, Gretel. I have a plan too," he said. In the morning, the children went to the forest with their father. When their stepmother had given them 2 slices of bread for breakfast before they left, Hansel put the bread in his pocket. Then they followed their father far into the forest. While he was walking behind his father and his sister, Hansel dropped the pieces of bread on the ground. He was leaving a trail to find their way back home. Unfortunately, some birds were following them and eating the bread. Hansel, Gretel, and their father walked and walked. "You must be tired," said their father. "Let's stop here. I'll go and collect some wood. Then we'll go home. You wait for me here." Hansel and Gretel were very tired. They sat on the ground and waited for their father. Soon they went to sleep. When they woke up, it was dark. "I'm frightened," said Gretel. "Father isn't coming back. It's cold and dark, and we are lost." "Don't worry," said Hansel. "I'll look after you." The children were lost. They walked one way, then they walked another way, but they couldn't find their house. Suddenly, they saw a very strange house. "Wow! Look at that house," said Hansel. It really was a very strange house. There were chocolate cookies on the roof, there were biscuits and nuts on the walls, and it had a big chocolate door. Said Gretel. "I'm very hungry. Let's eat some biscuits." "Okay," said Hansel. "I'm very hungry too. Let's eat some chocolate." The 2 children ran up to the house. Hansel pulled a biscuit off the wall and gave it to Gretel. Then he took a piece of chocolate. While they were eating the bits of the house, the chocolate door suddenly opened, and an ugly old woman came out and said, "Hello, who's eating my house?" "We're very sorry," said Hansel. "That's okay. You must be hungry," she said. "Come inside and have some breakfast." End of Tapescript 6.16.1.